to this special hello. He didn't even know I was recording. So, you gotta just love synchronicity and. Nikylässä pasousino ei kielekä tuli samana nekitti. Okay, we'll keep it clean. Public displays of affection. Hi everybody, good love and good light. I don't know, I sat down and turned on the camera to see if I even had any light in the room.
There was light.
And there is light. And then Dave walked in and there was more light. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love my new coffee cup. Thanks, Dave. I love this new coffee cup. I should put the link to everybody. Not that I'm not affiliated. I absolutely love this cup so much. A lot.
Oh, what was the name of the place?
Oh gosh, I feel terrible. I already forgot the name of it. Well, I'll look it up. Well, he'll look it up. That way I won't have. So yeah, I just sat down and said, "Wow, I feel like I haven't done any card readings in a while. I've been so busy the last couple months, just starting seeds and planting seeds. And thank you all for your your love and encouragement with all of that. First time trying gardening in this way, or really any way at all. Actually, I've never really planted any kind of vegetable or flower seeds from seed and under lights and starting them and planting them out and so perhaps you saw some of the videos of the of our vertical gardens. And so
Georgetown Pottery.
Georgetown Pottery, yes, thank you. And I tell you, they have beautiful items. So like I said, in no way affiliated. It was just Dave happened to come across these cups, and because I was looking for one for like the perfect fit and the size for my hand, and so anyway, I absolutely love it. So he ordered these for us for me for a surprise gift, and I absolutely love it. So so I was thinking about pulling a card, and I don't like this angle very much, but sorry you guys. We've just been busy today making dog food. For those of you who are new to my channel, yeah, this channel is really about light language and everything about my life and light languages in my daily life and all of that, and just our daily life and sharing our highest joys and excitements, taking it as far as we can take it.
Integrating spiritual enlightenment into our every moment.
Oh, I like that. I like that. So yeah, we were just we made a video. We made a video today while we were making our puppy dog food, and because we do raw, fresh food diets for our dog Abby, and so I usually post that stuff over on another YouTube channel, Higher Consciousness Education, because I don't know if people are even interested in that part of our life, and so I've been talking about integration and that kind of thing, so that's probably food for another video. I get it. Mm-hmm. I'm posting art on one YouTube channel and posting light language related stuff here, and I don't know the separation and the integration of all of that. But anyway, so if you're interested in seeing some of the other things that bring us joy besides light languages and channeling and that sort of thing,
let us know what you think.
Yeah,
do you want to have to look through 5 different YouTube channels to see what we're doing, or would you rather have it all on one, even though they're not all exactly on topic?
maybe that was the whole purpose of this video after all, because I love I love, as all of you probably already know, light languages of the love of my life, and so are all these other things, including Dave. And but yet it's almost like people are only interested in I was gonna say galactic things, light language things, spiritual things. But yet to me, it's all connected. But yet YouTube sort of made us all feel that like art should be on this channel, and actually that the higher consciousness education really is about higher consciousness in our daily living. So it's not really all that different than what I already do every day. It's just sharing it in a different place. And so I don't know, sometimes it gets a little weird because this was my home, and this is my home. Language is the Lights is my home, is my website, and everything is sort of branched off of that. But it's sort of like what our soul does, right? I mean, and over souls and so forth. We're branching off from our soul, and we're having all of these different experiences and parallel lives. So to me, it's just an expression and extension of all of that.
So as you're following your highest joy and excitement,
can we see you, Dave?
Part of that,
not really.
As you're following your highest joy and excitement, part of that kit of excitement is showing you things and beliefs that don't belong in your highest joy and excitement. So
yes.
We see, besides our own personal experiences stemming from those beliefs, we also see other people on YouTube, for instance, that talk about the idea of, I need to start a new channel because now I'm talking about cooking, and that's not gardening.
That's not gardening, exactly.
Or, we're talking about light language,
and now I see myself.
We want to talk about open contact, and now we need a new channel.
Yeah, and then open contact TV. That's a different channel, and I've just been feeling a lot of discord with all of that, and to be honest.
and so, if you see these things as part of the kit where things are brought to your attention, you can learn from what you see others experiencing and modify your own behaviors and beliefs and actions to be more in alignment with who you want to be. And if whatever it is does not belong to you, it's going to find its way in. The way negative beliefs work is, you'll see hints of these things, and if you can't figure it out, the knocking will get louder and louder and louder, and until you address it. And the positive part of that is that it becomes obvious and it becomes unescapable. So It's not really a matter of deciding that you don't like it and just don't participate in it. You have to change your behaviors and actions and frequency to match what you do prefer. So you might say, I don't prefer it, but if it's in your frequency band, if it's in your aura, if it's in your whatever you want to call it, your state of being,
vibration,
and your vibration, it is going to show itself. And if you are operating within your vibration, anything that doesn't belong in it has to leave. So it's not that it doesn't exist. It's not that other people might not be experiencing it. It's that you won't be experiencing it because you're not going to have the disharmony of those vibrations that don't belong. So,
well, and that's where I asked myself, how does that apply to me? And now in my vibration, how I'm feeling.
And fortunately, moment by moment, if you follow your highest joy and excitement and look at everything in a positive way and don't focus on things that you do not prefer, because if you're focusing on something that you don't prefer, what you're really doing is telling the universe, I would like to investigate that a little further. Bring me more things that I don't prefer.
So for me, it means what? So now I'm sort of experiencing that idea that, I have to have 20 different channels and domain names
Right,
to
if-
share
if
all
you-
these little pieces of me, but
Right.
yet
if you want to buy into it,
exactly.
if
And
you-
but that's what I'm saying. Well, clearly I have because I have multiple channels.
well, but it's a way to look at it in a way that you prefer.
Well, and actually from a neutral standpoint, these are the kind of conversations that Dave and I have a lot about, integrating this higher consciousness information into our daily lives and looking at our belief systems and my belief systems and yeah, so there's that belief system that, oh well, if you're looking for light language, then you're not really going to be interested in, say, how I speak light languages to my plants. Well, I've always thought that it was all part of the same thing. Same thing with artwork. It's another extension of me. It's also a part of it's an extension also of my light language, but yet it's about, looking at artwork, which isn't necessarily, so, someone's excitement if they're coming here for an oracle card reading, for example. And so this channel sort of has always morphed from the idea of how that journey of my own consciousness exploration, how that has integrated with me, my own daily life, where it's taken me over the years, moving in different places of the country, changing my own life, my life, so.
This channel is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
So as we're
But
making,
it's gonna be sweet and good and delicious.
Well, but it was kind of the point of, we just sat down, and I'm laughing because I had just made like a 40-minute video that's uploading on higher consciousness education about us doing our dog food routine, and thinking, well, who on this channel would be interested in that, and maybe that's true, but anyway, that of course is, I'm the one creating my reality, so I'm always going to see reflections, thank you, of those beliefs. And so but yet on the other hand, if we're looking at something from, as we look at things from a neutral perspective, that it's not wrong or right, it just is, then the other side of that is, maybe that is the perfect way to demonstrate and express myself in all the different ways, even though I'm still one oversoul, if you will, one soul, but I'm expressing myself in a myriad of different ways. Maybe that is the best way for those who are, attracted. I did a lot of talking today. For those who are more attracted to and attracted to those things on those different channels. So maybe that is the best way to allow myself to express myself in a myriad of different ways and in different places. So I guess it just depends.
And integration doesn't mean combining everything into only one thing. It means appreciating all things,
all the aspects,
and
yes,
and incorporating them all as one thing, while yet still appreciating them as their own individual things.
And from my personal perspective, that all of those things are my highest joy and excitement. So if we want to take the idea of following the formula, invited to us from Bashar by the Sasani, to take your highest joy and excitement as far as you can take it, moment by moment, like making dog food.
I'm over in the corner here because I don't want to blow smoke into Wendy's face.
He's smoking his pipe. And to take it as far as we can take it until we can't take it any further, and to just then let it go and not have any insistence in where or how it's going to be integrated into all that is, and just to remain. And this is funny, the whole remaining in a positive, it's like just knowing that if you just let go and follow your heart, that it's gonna go where it needs to go, and who's gonna see it and how they're going to see it and how they're going to receive it, and which is none of my business, honestly. It's none of my business. My business is to share it if I'm excited to share it. So I guess I just wanted to share this idea with you guys because it's like I have all these things that excite me, yet to me they're all part of the same thing, because I'm also integrating the light language and the channeling information, and I'm receiving downloads. I'm connecting with beings and collectives while I'm gardening, while I'm making dog food, I was even gonna make a video about the dog food, and all of a sudden, bless Dave's heart, I swear. All of a sudden, like, Dave, I have to make a video about this dog food prep today and be a little bit more detailed. And it was a lot longer video than I normally would have made it. It's like I hear or feel inside of me that if I'm excited to share this thing about what I'm doing, that there's got to be somebody out there who needs to hear what we have to say in our perspective and the way we do it and how we deliver it. And then I just do it. And then I'm guided to go, well, okay, probably languages of light's maybe not the place that people want to see prepping raw dog food. I completely appreciate that, so that I apply to my higher consciousness education channel. And then we talk about open contact.
So if you're watching the video about raw prepping and you're thinking, well, I don't really care about this. Well, what you don't realize is there will be a time where it will become relevant.
That's
and you'll
true.
remember, I remember seeing something
That's
about
true.
that. And even if you don't come back to watch the video, you're being reminded about it in a way that you can now find the information that you need that's relevant for whatever's going on in your life. So you'll always have the information you need when you need it, not before and not after. So maybe a seed needs to be planted to someone who doesn't like pets and is never going to really be considering
anything like that.
Raw dog food kind of things or raw feeding of their pets. And then one day, somebody shows up at your door with a little puppy that you thought you would never, ever, ever want to have, and you fall in love with it, and all of a sudden you're a mommy or a daddy of a little puppy, and now you're thinking, I've got to feed this thing.
Which is what happened to us pretty much. It was like, in a sense, I mean, yes, I had said, we had talked about, oh my God, I would love to have a puppy, and we were thinking about it, should we, shouldn't we, and we didn't go out and pursue it, and she just showed up at our door, like, literally.
Well, and you could certainly say not at the right time. I mean, but it was at the right time.
But I guess that it was, and so that story is in other videos. I know this video is dark. I didn't even like turn on the lights or open anything. I just started the camera. so much for there you go for spontaneity and synchronicity. And then I think, okay, then we have Open Contact TV, which we kind of like, well, that should be more about, opening contact with aliens. But yet when this is the funny part about where things start to get all gray is, I know, I did not, funny, no pun intended. But yet I was just going to talk about the hyper children, because as I'm gardening and as I'm doing these other activities, as my vibration is raising because I'm doing the things that I'm loving, or doing the things I don't necessarily love, but looking at them from a more positive perspective in that.
Or even considering how you can look at it from a higher perspective.
Exactly.
Because you're not.
Because, exactly.
The idea
That's true.
Of desiring to and looking for a way of looking at it in a more positive way is enough of the opening of the door.
I'm so glad you said it that way, because once I invite that open and I say, okay, how can I look at this from another point of view? It's almost like my heart chakra opens, and while I'm preparing even dinner for us, or I'm in the garden, all of a sudden I can feel the hybrid children with me. and knowing that if they're preparing to be here on earth, that they're participating in what I'm doing, because and then I start thinking about them, and then I start to get that emotional connection and more an appreciation of that idea. So where does that begin and end? That, okay, I've just opened contact with what I know in my heart to be these beings who are connecting with me, because that's, I've opened my heart to that. And then now that I have, what do I do with that information? But once I do, it opens a lot of other doors. And then I start to feel their participation in watching what we're doing, how we're doing things, why we eat what we eat, how we garden, how we, and all of a sudden all these it's almost like a tree starts to branch, a flower starts to open for me inside of me, that it starts to branch out into all of these other connections. And then I start to think to myself, this is all the same thing. It's all, it's all one. It's all different parts of my one experience, but yet it's all so deeply integrated into everything that I do every day now, that there, for me, it's like there is no separation. So this is a belief system I'm totally working through, and I guess I've just been wanting to kind of share that with people, that because I think that there's a lot of people on YouTube, and I've talked about this just a little bit, but I think there's a lot of people on YouTube that might feel the same way, that like, well, now I'm afraid to share this part of my life because it doesn't,
fit into the proper
it doesn't fit into the algorithm, or it's that nobody's gonna see it, or nobody's gonna. And the thing is, you guys, it's just, we're gonna attract what we attract, where and when we're gonna attract it, and it, and whether I share it on 6 channels or my one channel, I have to, so I've been thinking about that a lot too.
So it's not our job to figure out how it's going to happen. We create the state of being that we prefer, and we're constantly fine-tuning that. And it's somebody else's problem to figure out how the universe is going to reflect that in our reality. So to explain it in the Google or the YouTube story that we're telling, yes, we're having fun playing on YouTube and discovering the different algorithms and how YouTube works, and what some people say YouTube does and what other people say.
And we're making it all up anyway.
So the answer is to follow our highest joy and excitement. And if that is put it all on one channel for the moment, or if that's, today I want to do a higher consciousness video for whatever reason. In our creation of our own reality, because all realities exist, it's YouTube's problem to figure out how they're going to deliver to the appropriate people. Because the appropriate people who are in the frequency of receiving that information are going to be in a reality where YouTube is giving them those videos. And maybe we're not in that reality at the moment that they're watching the video, and we don't know that 1 million people are watching our video, because we're just not in that reality right now. But that doesn't mean 1 million people aren't watching a video in a different reality, of which we will become part of at some point, or in and out.
Very quantum stuff here, you guys.
Yeah, so we could be following our highest joy and excitement, making food for Abby, which, yes, it's our highest joy and excitement to do it, but I would rather not have to physically spend an hour and a half making food. But it's still part of the kit of excitement, and while we're doing it, we're fully immersed and enjoying it and talking about it
and our process.
So probably when we're making the food is when, if we were to be able to look at our YouTube channel and see, we have 1 billion subscribers. But when we're done, we're changing our gears to something else, and now we're thinking, what else are we going to do?
I'm glad you said that.
And now we're back to a YouTube that doesn't have billions of subscribers.
I'm glad you mentioned that about the billions of subscriber thing, because that was one of the things I wanted to mention was that has never been my goal. The number of subscribers. What has been my goal is that others simply just that connect with me and that I can inspire somebody or meet somebody through this connection.
Well, like
the goal has never
like
been
the gardening guy we saw that was being interviewed.
Yes, he's like,
what's your plan for the channel? What are your goals?
He's like,
I just want to share.
I just want to share my videos,
the love of gardening, and get other people to start gardening.
And he's like, at the end of the day, he says, I can have 1 million subscribers. He says, but I'm not meeting each and every one of them. I'm not. It's not necessarily as real for me as it is. It was another YouTuber that interviewed another gardener YouTuber, and it was just a great interview. But it was that idea that since if my goal is not and never has been to have ad revenue and millions of this and millions of views, then what difference does it make how many people are watching each channel? You know what I mean? So I've been really thinking about this a lot, because and
I promise you will always have what you need when you need it.
Yeah.
Because it might come down to the wire in your own mind, but you always have what you need when you need it to follow your highest.
And I guess I just have this belief that says, well, in order for people to even be interested in dog food videos, then I must share it on a different channel.
And it's sort of interesting because,
and maybe that's true.
I forget exactly. I mean, Bashar has talked about it, but I've heard it from other places in different ways. But so let's just say you want to be following your highest joy and excitement, but you're only about 50% there and actually doing that all the time. Well, because you're making this all up, and the point is to have the experience of following your highest joy and excitement, you might only have the abundance of 50% because you're only
in your 50% belief.
You're only following your highest joy and excitement half the time. So the things
that's a good way to think about it. The things
that you need to follow your excitement have to be available to you, because that's the purpose of your experience.
And I know you guys can probably hear Abby, because she knows we're in here and she wants to come in here and hang out and cuddle, and it's probably getting close to her dinner time too. But so anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I wanted to explain why she was crying over that.
And if you watched Bashar, and I don't know if he's actually said it exactly this way, but just now that I'm thinking about it and receiving information in a very simplified manner, because everyone's always asking about how do I get more abundance, and the answer is really quite simple. If you're only at 50%, because Bashar will always say, well, are you following your highest joy and excitement, and why not? What beliefs do you have that are preventing you from, because if you want 100% of your abundance, you have to be following your joy and excitement 100% of the time.
Yes.
And that is really the simplified formula.
It really is, you guys. It is. It. And when we talk about abundance, again, we're not talking. Maybe that means millions of bucks to somebody, but that's not what abundance actually means. So,
because you're creating your reality moment to moment to moment. There is no care about paying next month's rent. That's a different reality altogether. When you're at that point, you'll be following your highest joy and excitement. And
a year ago, I would have never imagined that I would be doing the things that I was doing in the way that I'm doing them today. And it was because of that, always the nudging of following your highest joy, being in your highest excitement as much as you can throughout the day. And as soon as you're focusing on something that abracadabra, or saying words that you do not prefer, creating a reality you don't prefer, and starting to see the reflection of the things you don't prefer, you start to see the reflection of the things you do prefer when you are following the formula. It's inexplicable, and it's a paradox, but it's a reflection completely. So when they say what you put out is what you get back, it's what you think, it's what you feel, it's what you believe. So yeah, that's just something that I've been, you know, exploring myself. And yet the more time I've spent actually focusing on my highest joy and excitement and doing the things, the more the abundance comes to be able to do those things. It is really inexplicably true.
And the abundance comes in many different
ways. So
and,
many.
Maybe it's just
information, gifts,
a new sandwich at the local store that we've always wanted, or
hey, abundance,
a hot dog cart that's on Main Street.
We were just talking about that.
Maybe
we don't have any place to go get lobster, and one day shows up in our little town, little teeny tiny town, a lobster truck, food truck with lobster. Who knew?
So
yes,
abundance, aplenty,
and getting a job to be able to buy a lobster sandwich. So there you go. I never again thought I'd be there a year ago, but here we are. So
we obviously don't need lobster every day.
No, and we don't get it every day.
We probably
and I wouldn't appreciate it. Could not afford it every day.
Every day.
No.
But the truck is not here every day.
It's a treat.
So we don't need it.
It's a big treat.
And we want to have it as a treat. The few times,
it's for
every
us,
couple months when it shows up.
And it is an extravagant treat, but it's a treat. And now to be able to, and that whole abundance about creating that reality is we just said, oh, wow, wouldn't it be great to be able to have a place around here that we could get some good lobster, you know what I mean? And then we forgot about it.
We were talking about macaroni and the kind of things we might want in macaroni and cheese. And we were talking about lobster. And the first time it happened, I think, we were about to make macaroni. I think we were in the process of making macaroni and cheese.
Oh, that was the second time.
That was the second time.
Yes. And then he said, the food truck's here. We're like...
lobster food truck's here.
Gotta go.
And they have lobster mac and cheese, but
we don't eat that.
But so... we literally, you put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
And we went and got our
food truck sandwich instead. So, but yeah. So for me, it's still a feeling.
And we acted upon it.
Yes.
Otherwise, there would be no point.
Because I was in the middle of making dinner. Now I could have said, well, and I'm going to make dinner, and that's expensive, and we shouldn't have spent the money, and this and that. As soon as he said the lobster truck's here, seriously, it was like no hesitation. I'm like, all right, this is all going in the fridge. We're getting lobster.
And Wendy makes really good macaroni and cheese.
Yes, I do. Homemade, of course, but but thanks for that. And so when I'm in really it's this no insistence thing, which is a whole other video. I was guided the other day. I get all these downloads and channeled messages to share with you guys. And I was getting this download the other day while I was gardening, and about linearity and and how we have insistence on if we do this, then this is gonna happen, then this is gonna happen, and once we break away from that linearity, that those ideas change. But anyway, that's a video for another day. We'll be here forever. But anyway, yeah, thanks for just joining us in that spontaneous moment.
And learning to enjoy the abundance in the forms that it comes in, and recognizing them, and appreciating them, and allowing for more of those kinds of things to happen. Because even like the other day, we're enjoying gardening, even though we fight about things from time to time. We can't decide exactly how we're going to do each thing, and we might spend hours and hours researching. If we count up the time over the week of what we want to try to figure out we're going to do
and I'm
next.
Still learning.
But we put on a video. A girl is talking about irises, and I
couldn't even believe it.
to our yard where we have irises growing and have not yet flowered, and I look and I say, I think I see an iris flowering.
I couldn't even believe it. Seriously, this video comes out, and I was just saying to Dave how much I missed my irises, and I loved growing irises and how beautiful they were. And he looks out the window right here, and he's like, I think I see irises blooming. Now, there have been irises planted here for, well, we've been here, almost 3 years, and they've not bloomed yet. So as I started gardening, and also Dave started paying attention to things, and I think he sprinkled, didn't you say you sprinkled some fertilizer down there, and all of a sudden there they are, they're starting to bloom. So I was so excited.
A form of abundance.
And to me, I felt so abundant.
Well, the enjoyment of seeing
yes.
them and enjoying them and knowing that they're blooming.
And that's how I feel when we're making dog food too. I feel very abundant that, you know, here we're able to feed her. We can feed her fresh food. It's still on a budget. And when I say on a budget, it's not, I mean, we're still mindful of what we're spending. We're still spending less on her good food than packaged food. And so we explain all of that in our video and so forth. But so yeah, you know, let me know what you guys think. And you know, if you want to catch that, it's Higher Consciousness Education. I'll put the link there, and a lot of that stuff too I do share on my mutual community pages from one channel to the next if somebody maybe is interested, but without, you know, kind of, you know, shoving it out there. But I don't know, like I said, we've been doing this all the afternoon, and I just sat down, had a cup of coffee, and I don't know, I just was like, I passed my bookcase with my oracle cards, and I thought, wow, it's been such a long time since I've done an oracle card video, and I was like, maybe I'll do an oracle video. And then I just started the video, and Dave walked in, and you guys saw everything. So that's how that stuff rolls around here. We just go with the flow and spontaneous and all that. So I don't know. Hopefully you guys found this interesting a little bit, and let me know what you guys think about that idea too. But I think for me, it's been really, I've been wanting to make this video a long time and really talking about integration. And I really wanted to call it that instead of talking about separation. It was really, for me, it's been about integration. Even though I may be expressing it by way of separating things. But yet somehow I'm integrating all of that too. And I've got tons of domain names, and I think, do I really need all of this? You know, it's all, but yet it's exciting to me too to express myself that way.
So if you're excited to talk to Wendy, she does one-on-one sessions, and you could check out languagesoflight.com to see, to get a session. But we also want to put out there that if you're interested in having like Zoom hangouts where we just talk amongst ourselves live on YouTube through Zoom, so you know, everyone is on video, able to talk with each other, you have to let us know, because if you don't tell us, we're not going to do it.
Well, and I do want to do more live stuff, but we're just never sure exactly what's the best time for people and what their interests are, and do they want to do it and hang out? Do you guys want to do that or not? And
so, and we'll do it with 1 or 2 people. We don't care. But if you don't tell us, we're not going to know, and we're not going to do it. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, or you know, even at a certain time, you know, once every couple weeks or once a month or even weekly or whatever, you have to let us know. So you could let us know by comments. Wendy sees all the comments, replies to almost all of them.
And it can run the gamut from light language to channeling to oracle to dog food.
If you want to talk about dog food,
whatever, you know, all of those things.
Or how we like our new green stocks.
Oh yeah, that too.
Could be anything.
And no, we're not sponsored. I don't do that.
How the weather is. Doesn't
yeah.
matter.
So, and where you live, what your life is like, and maybe you're inspired by some of this or whatever. So thanks, you guys. Mwah. Love you. So thank you for just, you know, joining my journey and remembering that the word journey begins and ends in the word joy. And we're here. I am inspired to share the joy of my journey, and even the not so joyous parts when I'm feeling, you know,
So the only
confused.
way that we can all integrate together is if we all become more and more of our own unique puzzle piece.
Yes.
And together it integrates into a picture.
So it's like we are a beautiful masterpiece. Like what the Vashna Tialantiba Somotea, la Cote Bilantosia, Kinjanto Coson Poteki, Legendia Sopore, Sini la Kite, Oshono Conviara, La Zubato from it's like from all of my hearts to all of your hearts in quantum infinity, la Cote Vashne. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Mwah. Mwah. Bye, you guys.